Hello and welcome to another match preview on Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzie and I'm your host for today's show. Great achievement from Liverpool last night as they managed to claim a spot in the Carabao Cup final, defeating Fulham 3-2 on aggregate. So that's one competition wrapped up. On to the next one as we face Championship side Norwich City this Sunday in the fourth round of the FA Cup. So let's analyse our opposition and see how they performed so far this season. Firstly, the team is actually managed by none other than David Wagner, who we all know is one of Klopp's closest friends. His team, to be fair, are not doing too bad this season. Currently 8th in the league with 41 points, only a couple of points away from a playoff spot. So that's their main goal of the season, with the objective of securing Premier League status once again. They've played 28 games, they've won 12, drawn 6, and lost 10. They're also one of the big hitters in the Championship with 44 goals. And speaking of hitters, they've got quite a few attacking players that could cause Liverpool some havoc in this fixture. Jonathan Rowe, who's been strongly linked with a move to Brentford, has been very prolific this season. The winger has managed to notch up 13 goals and 4 assists so far this season in all competitions. So definitely one to look out for. Another player is Adam Idai, who broke into the team briefly when they were in the Premier League, and he showed some promise over the years. This season, he's managed to score 7 goals with 1 assist, so he'll be a danger man, whether he starts the game or comes off from the bench. They also have American international Josh Sargent and former Burnley striker Ashley Barnes in the squad. So plenty of options in attack for the Canaries. Now, in terms of our head-to-head with Norwich, Liverpool do like a game against Norwich City. A match that's always full of goals. You can ask Luis Suarez for reference there. We haven't lost to Norwich City since 1994. So we have an exciting cup tie ahead of us. So what I'll do now, I'll present the team news. I'll then predict the lineups of both teams. And I'll also reveal my score prediction. So just a couple comments here. First one from Daz. Daz says, bless up, Ozzie, mate. Hope you are well today. I'm very well. Thank you, Daz. Thank you for your comment. I hope you are doing well today as well. And then Daz says, Ozzie, any news on Trent and Dom? So I watched the press conference earlier today in regards to Dominic Szoboszlai. He's resumed full training in terms of the normal team schedule. So he'll be training with the team tomorrow. Trent, however, hasn't actually trained with the team so far. So, in my opinion, he's very unlikely to start in this game. But there's still a couple of days before that fixture happens, so things can change. It will depend on who actually attends the training session tomorrow. But at this stage, it doesn't look like Trent will be starting in this fixture. So what I'll do, I'll present the team. So with Norwich City, not much to really discuss. Danny Bath is the only casualty that we're aware of at this stage, who's actually suffering a hamstring injury. But in terms of the last fixture that they played, which was against Leeds United, there weren't any injury concerns. So they should have a fully fit squad. In terms of Liverpool, as I just mentioned, Szoboszlai is back in contention of resuming full training, as well as Robertson. So we also saw Robertson in the matchday squad yesterday against Fulham. So he is in the squad. Whether he starts is probably a debatable one amongst us fans. As I mentioned, Trent hasn't taken part in training, so isn't expected to play in this fixture. So I think his target will most likely be the Chelsea game, which is on the 31st, so 6 days away. So I think that's more realistic target, or the Arsenal game. I'd probably say the Chelsea game, he probably starts on the bench, but at this stage, it's too early to say. Salah, as we all know, is injured and will be returning to Liverpool to get his injury, I would say, inspected or analyzed from the medical team. Hopefully, it's a swift recovery. He's expected to be out for a month, so that will obviously end his participation in the AFCON. But in terms of Liverpool, he'll be very close for him to even meet the sort of the timing for the cup final. So we want him to start that cup final, obviously. So let's see how it goes. Hopefully, Mohamed Salah can make a recovery in a couple of weeks or so. In terms of Endo, Japan have progressed into the Asian Cup, so he'll be taking part in the next round. Thiago Bajcetic are expected to return next month, but that remains to be seen. I don't think we can quote any return dates as of yet, but we do know they are making slow progress to full recovery. And finally, Tsimikas is back doing some light training. I don't think he's available for this fixture, but he should be in contention to play in the next couple of weeks. So that's the team news there. So what I'll do, I'll predict the two lineups. I'll start with the away team, and then we'll take it from there. So in terms of Norwich, they predominantly play a 4-2-3-1 formation. So that's the one I'm going to stick with. In terms of their lineup, I expect them to field their strongest team. It's against Liverpool, so I don't expect them to rotate too heavily. So it will be Gunn, who is their main goalkeeper. So there we go. Got Gunn right there. And then in terms of the back four, you've got Stacey, who is their right back. Then we have Duffy, who they signed from Fulham in the summer. Then we have Gibson, who is his defensive partner. And then it will be Giannolis as the left back. Giannolis, there he is. And in terms of the double pivot, it's normally McLean. So McLean will be there on the left side of the double pivot, and alongside him will be Nunez. So there he is. There's Nunez right there. Now, in terms of the advanced three midfielders, this could be a number of players. So you've got the likes of Rowe, you've got Sara, who's a predominant DM. You've got Sainz, you've got Hernandez. Hernandez looks very impressive against Bristol Rovers in the previous round. For this fixture, I will go with Sara as the number 10. If he's there, let's have a look. Can't seem to find him there. Okay, let's try and type his full name. It's Gabriel Sara. There he is. And then we've got Rowe, I think will play on the right side. Can play left wing as well, but I'm going to go with him on the right side. And I'm going to go with Sainz, Spanish winger there on the left. And then up top, it could be a toss-up between Sargent, who is their number 9. He predominantly starts a lot of games. It could be Ida as well, who's an Ireland international, or it could be Ashley Barnes, maybe someone of experience. I'm going to go for Ida. I think he will present a different type of dimension to this Norwich team. Very much on the front foot. Likes to attack the channels as well. So a very pacey player. Finishing not as prolific as you'd probably want, but he's still a young player learning the trade. So I feel like he will be the one causing havoc to our back line. So that's the formation there for Norwich. If there's any comments with regards to his setup, drop a comment, let me know. But this is how I'm expecting them to set up. You could see Rowe and Sainz switching up, even though Sainz predominantly likes to play on the left side. We've got Gabriel Sara, who's had a lot of assists. I believe he's had 8 assists so far this season. So he's one to definitely be on alert with. Try and make sure he doesn't have too much time on the ball or influence the game in any shape or form. And then you've got these two guys holding the back line. And then, yeah, Giannis is quite a flamboyant fullback. So expect them to provide width, but not too much, as these guys will probably be the ones that are further up top. And they'll probably want to try and have a low block of some sort to avoid any counter attacks or any attacks from Liverpool altogether. So this is my lineup for Norwich. This is the team that I'm expecting. I would say I haven't watched Norwich that much this season, so it'll be interesting to see how they set up. But they've got some interesting attacking players. You've got the likes of Rowe, who I mentioned, has been strongly linked with a move to Brentford. So there are a few players here that are linked to Premier League moves. So yeah, interesting lineup to say the least. So what I'll do now is I'll stop sharing this graphic and I'll present the graphic for the Liverpool team, and then we can go through our team right now. So in terms of formation, you know the deal. It's 4-3-3, no change in our shape there. So for this game, I think Alisson will start. You know, Klopp has said it on record. Kelleher is our goalkeeper for the Carabao Cup, and Alisson's our goalkeeper for the FA Cup. So no point in trying to change the script. Let's keep it on tone in terms of what we need to do. So Alisson will start in goal. In terms of the back four, I don't think Trent will be starting, so I'm going to stick with Conor Bradley at right back. I wouldn't rush Robertson in this fixture if I'm being brutally honest. So I'm actually going to stick with Joe Gomez at left back. I don't think he's droppable at this stage, to be brutally honest. So he stays in the team. And then we're going to go with Van Dijk. I'm going to go with Konate, who didn't start in the last game, which was yesterday against Fulham. So I'm expecting him to start in this game. And in terms of our midfield, McAllister will be our number 6. And then in terms of the midfield, not a wealth of options available, to be fair. You've got Elliott, you've got Gravenberch, and you've got Curtis Jones, who's thankfully available to play. I'm going to go with Gravenberch. And I'm going to go with Curtis Jones alongside him. I know in terms of my rating for Elliott yesterday, some may have seen it as thought it was quite low. In terms of his sort of energy and what he gives to the team, obviously he's a hard-working player, but I just didn't think he was good on the ball. So I think for this game, maybe he deserves a bit of a rest. He's been playing consecutive games. I just feel like he's ran out of steam a little bit, and because of that, his sort of creative spark has been missing at times as well. So I think a rest in this game will definitely be worth doing, because we've got a lot of games coming up, and he can always come on as an impact sub later in the game. So that's the midfield 3 I'm going for. Up top, I like to see Gakpo given a chance in the middle. So I'm going to go with Gakpo leading the line. And then I'm going to go with Diaz on the left. I think he's in great form, so I want him to maintain his momentum, playing on that left-hand side, so keep him in the team. And on the right side, I'm going for Jota. I was impressed with how he played in the previous game against Bournemouth, where he was deployed on the right side in the second half, and I thought he was very, very effective in that role. So he doesn't have to be a sort of wide right wing as such. He could be more of an inside kind of forward. He can interchange with Gakpo if required, or Curtis Jones can go out wide, and he can do the job right here. So for me, Jota will provide different options, different variations in our attack. And yeah, Gakpo can just be that extra body as well, allow these guys to play a bit more inside, so they can be sort of like a strike force themselves, and then have Gakpo as the number 10, goes in between the lines and making things happen in that sort of position. So that can be the setup, I think. So yeah, there'll be different tactics, different methods of deploying a formula that can hopefully get us to win in this one. It's a team that we haven't faced this season, obviously, because they're in the Championship. So always a tricky encounter, especially in the FA Cup tie, as teams that are from the lower levels treat it like all or nothing when it comes to playing against one of the big boys or one of the dominant Premier League teams. So I'm expecting nothing but that. So yeah, I think that will be my lineup. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm just going to check through the comments right now. So just got a comment from Jay Kisnet. It says, "Blessed man, let's go. Beat Chelsea twice now." I hope so. Chelsea's one of those teams where it doesn't matter who the manager is or who the players are on the pitch, we always end up with a draw. So yeah, if we can get the win in the Premier League, that would obviously be a big boost in our title challenge. And then yeah, obviously in the Carabao Cup final, yeah, that will hopefully give us the right to hold that trophy. So yeah, let's go and do what we've got to do and beat the Blues. And then Daz is giving me his lineup. So he's gone for Alisson, Bradley. So he's gone for Kwanzaa instead of Konate, which is fair enough. Van Dijk, and you've actually put on Robbo in your team, which is interesting. And then you've gone for Jones, Clark, and then Szoboszlai, which is a different midfield to mine. And then you've gone for Diaz, Jota, and Cody. So front three is the same. The midfield, I wouldn't be surprised, to be fair. It could be where Klopp feels like he needs to rotate the squad a bit heavy. After this fixture, when are we playing? So the date will be the 28th. And then, yeah, we play on Wednesday, don't we, guys? Let me just double check the fixtures in terms of the gaps. So, yeah, we play on Wednesday. So, yeah, that could definitely play a part in the manager's thinking. But I feel like with the midfield you presented, maybe because of Bobby Clark, I'm thinking it doesn't have enough experience. But hey, I've been impressed whenever Bobby Clark has come on and made a cameo in the team. I think he's always done a decent job. So, look, I wouldn't be completely mad at this formation. It's definitely a squad rotated formation. And yeah, it could actually work. And yes, we need to have a fully fit squad against Chelsea. So yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that. I'll probably go for a bit more of a stronger lineup. And then that's a big up to Jay Kisnet. And then likewise, the return is there. And then Daz says predictions need to be in before Tuesday, Jay Kisnet. And then Jay Kisnet has said that rest Alisson and play Kelleher. He won't get too many games after that. It's Norwich, so Alisson not playing is okay. Fair enough, but I just feel like Klopp is one of those managers that sticks to his promise in terms of laying out the foundations. So letting everyone know that this is the situation and letting both goalkeepers know that your tournament is Carabao Cup, which is Kelleher, and Alisson will be playing the FA Cup. So let's see how that goes. And then there's a set sound there. And that's if not Cody, who would you put up top? So yeah, I've gone for Cody. But if it wasn't Cody, I'd probably start Darwin Núñez, to be honest with you. The last couple of games he played through the middle and he's been fantastic. So yeah, I'd go for Darwin Núñez. Didn't score in the last game, but did score a brace against Bournemouth. So he's looking very, very positive, playing in that central striker role, which is his natural game. So yeah, so I would, if I couldn't choose Gakpo, I'd go for Núñez up top. And then Jay Kisner has just presented his team. So he's gone for Kelleher, Bradley, Phillips, Kwanzaa, Phillips. Oh gosh, forgot about Phillips. Robertson, McAllister, Groundberg, Jones, Jota, Darwin, Diaz. So I had the same attack when Daz presented his team. So in terms of your team, we've got the same midfield. But yeah, the defense is kind of thrown me off. I totally forgot about Phillips. You never know; he could be brought in to play. So it'll be interesting to see what Klopp does. And then Daz said Diaz right, Cody left, and Jota through the middle. He thinks, yeah, that's the beauty of our attackers. Like I mentioned on the previous show, they can play in different roles, different positions, and still be effective up top. So that's the beauty of our current attackers right now. And then Jenkins says, I'm resting Gomez, Virgil, Konate, Alisson, Jota. Bring Trent, Szoboszlai, and Beck on the 60th minute mark. So Trent, I'm not sure if he'll be available, but I get your point in terms of bringing Szoboszlai and Beck. Owen Beck definitely deserves a bit of a run out. I think he made that brief cameo a couple of weeks ago, did all right. So it'll be good to see him on the pitch. And you've actually just changed your mind. You said actually Gakpo for Jota, and you want to rest Jota. So yeah, interesting because Jota hasn't started many games. He's pretty much come off the bench in the last few games, so maybe the fitness isn't quite there. But yeah, it will be interesting. It could go either way. It could go the formation I've gone, where I feel like, yeah, it might on paper look like a very strong team, but at this stage, I'm trying to. I'd like us to continue this cup run and get through the round. We should do a job against Norwich City, but these are the games where it could be tricky, especially if we don't have experienced players on the pitch. So yeah, remains to be seen. But yeah, so that's my team lineup there. Let's see how it goes. We'll obviously talk about it in detail after the game on Sunday. Let's see if I've got my prediction right, or if Daz or Jay Kisnet have got it spot on as well. So in terms of my score prediction, I'm going for a Liverpool win, especially if I'm fielding a strong lineup like that. In terms of goal scorers, I'm going to go with Jota, Gakpo, and Jones. So yeah, so that's my line and that's my score prediction. So thank you to everyone for tuning in. Thank you to Jay Kisnet and Daz for your comments as always. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Next show will be, as I mentioned, this Sunday after the game. It will be. I'll probably do a later show. I won't do. I'm not planning on doing a match reaction straight after the game. It will be at 10 p.m. UK time on Sunday. So yeah, it's a calling show as well, guys. So if you'd like to come on and have your say, yeah, feel free to hit the link and yeah, jump on the stream and we can chop it up and talk about the game. And just got a prediction here from Jay Kisnet. He's gone for 5-0. I like that. To be fair, not, predicting a 5-0 against Norwich is not actually a wild shot because we're more than capable of doing those sort of results. And Norwich are one of those teams where we end up having cricket scores at the end. So it's not a wild shout. I told Jay Kisnet. Also, you can follow me, guys, on social media. Follow me at OzzieFTP on Twitter/X. And you can also follow me at Ozzie.ftp on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok for all the latest updates. So that's wrap up for today, guys. Take care, stay safe, and I hope to speak to you all on Sunday. Goodbye.